And welcome to another episode of the WealthRabbit podcast. I'm Charles.
I'm Jason.
My name's Adam.
Welcome, Adam.
New blood, Charles.
New guy. What's going on?
He missed the first five. We don't know what he was doing. Should he give an intro
That's a
to
good
the Bad
question.
Bunnies?
Yeah, so for the Bad Bunnies, the Bad Bunnies already know. But I mean, for those people that, maybe more casual listeners than the Bad Bunnies.
Have I been talked about?
No, God, no.
No.
We didn't mention you at all.
Okay, well, that's probably best for everybody.
So, yeah, Adam Ackerman,
Adam Ackerman.
the brother of...
The
Mr.
brother
Jason.
of...
No relation.
No relation? Oh, just similar last names.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
A little taller.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to me.
Same.
Yeah.
I'm 5'9" and he's 6'5".
I mean, Jason's getting his build up there, though. I would say I used to be in better shape, but now Jason's over here working out 8 days a week. So,
Who's the better golfer?
if you look at the scores, I am.
Okay. And if you look at other things,
And if
what
you
else do you look at? What does Jason look at?
And if you look at who wins the most money on the golf course, I do. So. But there's a rebuttal to that, I guess.
It's I want my handicap to be higher.
Okay.
I want him
Yeah.
giving me a few strokes at least.
Yeah, I just want to win money because that's why we're here. To talk
That's what
about
we
money.
all-
Yeah, because when you
Speaking
win,
of-
when you win money on the golf course, and I issue him a 1099, we're gonna want to hide some of that.
Hide's the wrong word.
Hide, funnel,
Yeah.
like how do
Yeah.
you...
hide legally.
Yeah.
Legally put it somewhere where you can defer tax.
Legally tuck it away in your
Yes.
little rabbit hole.
And that's what retirement plan's for. You want to save money for retirement in a tax efficient manner.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I guess that's my intro, though. I'm just that guy. I'm just his brother.
I did have a client yesterday email me, and he was like, I lost $25,000 gambling last year. Can I write that off? And the answer to that is no. You can't. You have
Well,
to, if you have gambling winnings.
Yeah. If you have winnings, you can write them off.
You can only-
I'm not a CPA like
Yeah.
he is, but
Yeah.
But he didn't have winnings.
Okay.
He just had
It
losses.
just has losses, just expenses.
Yeah.
Okay. So Adam, little background.
yeah, a little background. I, co-founder of WealthRabbit, also chief compliance officer. I run the wealth management division of our company, B&A Wealth. We're a RIA and broker dealer in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Manage about $800 million in total assets. Married to my great wife Emily, who has to put up with me. I should pay her $10.99 for that. But and then a beautiful young lad named Nathan.
Topic today is simple IRAs versus 401ks. So we're covering the basics in this intro series. So we've covered some of these topics, but whoever wants to jump in here, what's the big difference between a simple IRA and a 401k?
Overview, a 401k is more complex. So simple's simple. 401k is more complex.
Gotcha.
If you want something to, you want to set up a retirement plan, you don't want a lot of different rules and regulations, you want to just offer it to people, you have 100 less employees, simple's the way to go. If you want a more complex strategy to maybe defer taxes, and you want to have different layers and just different things, a 401k is a good option.
Gotcha. So simple IRA, they're an easier setup, quicker to get started, you'd say?
Yep.
Much easier.
Much easier.
You don't have to set up with a 401k. You have to file a form. You have to have a plan document that's very complex. Normally, multiple pages. You have to file every year something with the government, 5500 form with the IRS,
Department of Labor.
with the Department of Labor. Thank you.
Okay, correction.
And you have to. There's a lot more compliance pieces involved. At the end of the year, when you're doing your match or your profit share, there's complicated formulas that you have to basically pay someone to do for you in order to do it correctly.
Yeah, and depending on how the plan in a 401k is set up, you as the business owner may not be able to contribute the maximum or as much as you want if your employees do not contribute anything. So there's different
So you have to get
provisions, and it's a lot more complicated. Like
Safe
Jason
harbor,
mentioned.
non-safe harbor, how much you're going to match.
Yeah, the
You have a lot of
profit
options.
sharing,
A lot of
how
options.
that's calculated from testing. It's just complicated.
and cost structure for these simple IRAs, overall lower cost structure, or because there's less to manage.
That's
Or
right.
How would
Yeah.
you describe that?
Yeah, much lower cost structure. Typically with a 401k, there's three pieces. It's normally going to be the advisor, the third-party administrator, or the TPA. They're the ones that make sure the plan is compliant with the Department of Labor. Typically file the Form 5500, and then there's also the custodian of the assets. So there's three major pieces in a 401k.
Okay.
And how much would you say someone with 10 employees? How much would that cost?
That would probably cost somewhere in the range of $5,000 to $7,000
Per year.
Yeah, per year.
Gotcha.
Whereas a simple would cost, like with WealthRabbit, if you got our highest level, it would cost $1,500 or something like that.
Gotcha.
Most of the time, for 10 employees, it'd be less than that, $500 or $600 a year.
It's like 5 times more expensive in general.
Yeah.
In that
And
scenario.
sometimes it made sense,
Yeah.
but it depends on the situation.
It really depends on the goal of the business. Typically for a retirement plan, it's three things of why you set up a retirement plan. It's one, does the business owner want to save for retirement? Do they want to save taxes? And then the last one is about the employees, for employee morale. So it's really figuring out the answer to those three questions, and most of the time I want all three, but figuring out why are we having the conversation if you need this retirement plan?
Right. Could be weighted differently. One of those concerns could be higher than
Exactly. Like for a startup that most of their money is going into the business to grow and grow and grow. A simple IRA is a great opportunity for that.
Yeah, once you get to a certain amount of employees, you're probably not going to do a profit share. So simple is a good option.
Yeah.
A 401k is good in certain circumstances. If you have over 100 employees, you have to have a 401k. You can't have a simple. So if you're a very large business,
Gotcha.
you need that. If you're less than 100 and you have the right circumstances, you can put more into a 401k than a simple. And that'll save you more in taxes.
Gotcha. So contribution limits are different too.
Yes.
So yeah, and that's another reason why somebody just starting out a simple IRA maybe, contribution limits may not be a big factor for somebody just starting out. If the
owner, right now with a simple you can do $16,000.
Yeah.
With a 401k you can do 23.
Right.
That's before catch up and other stuff, but in general,
It's
it's 23,500.
Yeah, that was. He's living in the past, ladies and gentlemen. That's 24 numbers. We're on to 2025 now. But
What's the 25 numbers? I'm thinking it's 16.
It's 23,500
for the
401k plus
Engineer
a 7,500 catch up. And I believe
Come
for
on,
a simple
Producer Caleb,
IRA,
get us.
Producer Caleb
it's
is
now up to 16,500.
I'm pretty sure it's 16 for the simple and 23,500 for the 401k. But Caleb will fact check us in live.
Put money on this? Either?
No, I'm not, because I have a lot of numbers going through my head.
But but to get to Adam's point, it's a $7,000 difference. So if the owner doesn't want to, if the owner is like, I want to put as much as I can, no matter what. But you have to do the tax calculation, because like Adam said, if we've got the owner and his wife on payroll, let's just say, maybe a child, and we can we have to figure out, okay, then we can put in $46,000 for them. We can, with a simple, we can do 32. That difference of 14, that'll save them $7,000 in tax or whatever. Does that make sense?
That was done without a 10 key. I just want everyone to know. There's no 10 key
Yeah.
in front of
But we can save that difference is $7,000 in tax.
Yeah.
Then maybe a 401k made sense. But if they're like, hey, I just want to put in $15,000 each, a simple, is the additional cost of the 401k going to make sense to them?
Gotcha.
Simple's 16.5
Oh,
for
oh.
23.5, and
Producer Caleb, I've never felt so right.
401k is 23.5.
I feel so bad.
23,500.
I feel so
It's all right.
bad.
The
software does it. WealthRabbit does the math for you. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Let's bring us to that. Yeah. So why would somebody? Let's talk about that. Why do you want something to do the math for you so you don't have to do it yourself?
Time is usually the most
Yeah.
valuable asset, and you as a business
That's a
owner.
fun topic. Let's talk about that. Yeah. I mean, it's true. It's true. We're all.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to be spending your time doing this. Also, like, if you do it yourself, you're not going to do it right, and it's going to come back to bite you. I see that so many times with simples and 401ks. You try to set it up yourself, and then we have to go back 3 years, and then, like, you've totally screwed it up, and it's cost you lots and lots and lots of money. So definitely consult, before you do anything, you should consult with your CPA because they're going to be able to tell you.
Or your tax advisor if it's not
yeah.
a CPA.
Yeah, consult with somebody.
Or your financial advisor. Yeah.
Or you can call WealthRabbit and we'll help you.
ChatGPT, I mean,
yeah,
whatever.
That's true. I mean, that's where I do all my research.
But you definitely want to get it set up with a proper software, whether it's the 401k or the Simple, because you don't want to be doing it on your own, because you will mess it up and it will cost you more later.
What's the traditional thing you see with that? Somebody goes with what do you?
Like with a
I don't wanna
Simple,
name
you
names
do
or
it.
anything, but
You
you
do
go
it
with
yourself. You're not doing the match right. You're not telling your employers. Like the employers, you have to tell them once a year.
Right.
There's compliance pieces that you have to do every year.
Right.
That I guarantee you, most people with a Simple aren't doing right now.
Yeah, and what's the difference between WealthRabbit and where you can go and get Simples elsewhere?
Right.
Is most of those companies, the big ones, they just link up and they you as the employer, you can just contribute whatever.
They
you
just want
contribute
your
in there.
money. Like you can set one up there, but they're not going to give you any compliance piece. They're not going to help your employees. Like they're just going to take your money and put it in a mutual fund.
Yeah, like our software, tracks how much you put in, when you reach the max. Just different things that is not out there currently.
Yeah, we designed it from a CPA perspective and a financial advisor perspective, but just like, hey, we want to help you, we want to help the employees, and we want to make sure you're in compliance. We want to make it easy.
You talked a little bit about pitfalls you've seen people make from your side, with people setting up an IRA and not having it done right or having.
Yeah, I'll give you an example.
Yeah, sure.
Of something that costs this company probably $150,000 for 1 year.
Wow.
They were a growing business. They set up a SEP IRA. Didn't even fund it. Or maybe they funded like $200. They barely funded it.
Gotcha.
Because they set that up and they didn't consult anyone, and the SEP, they used the wrong form, they weren't able to transition to a 401k or a Simple when we wanted to. And if we could have put them in a 401k, we could have saved them literally $150,000. And we weren't able to. We were able to do it for the next year. But for that 1 year, like where they had the money and they could have done it, they couldn't do it because they tried to do it on their own.
So where did the $150,000 go? Like, was it?
It went to the government in taxes.
Oh, gotcha.
So instead of them putting in
right.
$200,000 into a 401k plan, they had to give the government $150,000. Wow. And that's just like, if we could have gotten to them,
You could have saved
earlier.
them.
Yeah. They came to us after it had already been done.
Wow.
And I see that it happens all the time if you try to set it up on your own. And the compliance piece, especially with a 401k, like you can set up a solo 401k, and hopefully WealthRabbit will have solo 401ks pretty soon, because we see this a lot. Like you go set it up yourself, you don't do it right, and then you're not in compliance, and you haven't done a 5500, and you just completely, it's bad.
So describe a solo for those who.
A solo 401k just means it's a one-person plan, you can include your spouse.
Okay. Do you need to have an employer involved with that, or
Yeah.
it's just,
So you as the business owner, you have no employees.
Okay, so it's a single owner, okay.
Yes,
individual sole proprietor,
Yes.
or something like that. Okay,
That's right.
gotcha. Any other thoughts on how WealthRabbit fixes these things?
What's a story you can say about someone who screwed up
What's a story? Yeah, I was
Simple
gonna
IRA 401k?
Or somebody who had something that was not good for them, and you put them into something better.
In my business, we manage about, I don't know, maybe 50 to 60 401ks, all from different sizes, from startup plans to plans with over $50 million, and it's all about. I've seen people jump into these plans, pay all this money, and in reality, the business owner doesn't even put any money into it. And us as advisors, we tell them, hey, this is why we set this up. This is why you're paying the money. It's great. You're getting your employee morale, and employees are getting 3-4% match, whatever the plan document says. But they just don't take advantage of what they're doing, and that's kind of why WealthRabbit exists, to where if you don't know you're going to do it, go balls to the wall with the 401k. A Simple IRA is the perfect solution.
To the bad bunnies that are still out there listening to this, you're going to be the first to comment on this, you get a free rabbit's foot. Is that
Oh,
is that
yes.
promo still
We're going to
going?
send
Is
you
that-
a purple or gold rabbit's foot, a real rabbit's foot. It will be not one of those small bunnies.
Not one of those.
It's going to be like a full hair.
Be a big bunny.
It's going to be a hair.
It's gonna be like a
It's gonna,
jackalope.
you might have to like
jackrabbit.
We're gonna ship it to you, and you're not gonna be able to like. It's gonna have to go.
There's gonna be customs issues.
Yeah.
There's gonna be.
Well, it has to be someone in the United States.
Okay.
Yes.
No comment outside.
Yeah,
United
Simples can only be is for U.S. companies. So
Fair enough. With that, thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure. Stick around next time and see what we talk about.
The WealthRabbit podcast is a production of WealthRabbit, located in sunny Rock Hill, South Carolina. WealthRabbit is the first digitized platform designed to make simple IRA management effortless. We're on a mission to empower small businesses to invest in their team's financial future without the headaches. No hidden fees, no complicated processes, just retirement planning made simple. Go to wealthrabbit.com now to learn more. The views and opinions expressed on the WealthRabbit podcast are those of the guests and do not necessarily reflect or state the opinions of WealthRabbit. Comments and remarks on this podcast should not be construed as tax, legal, or other investment advice. Please consult your tax, legal, or investment professional. All investments involve risk. Past performance does not guarantee future results, including the risk of loss. Investments are not FDIC insured.